Hey, we are the Coalition Loud and Proud. We're here at a special meeting of the Pawtucket City School Committee where, if you will, the position of Acting Superintendent Ramsey has been formalized in part, well, I should say largely because of some of the issues surrounding the legal authority of a non-certified person and the legal capacities that and the legal positions that they can take, sometimes even simply what they're allowed to sign off on. That was covered in last week's meeting. So this was an important step in moving forward for the school district as they look at the future, whether it be Ms. Ramsey or other folks in what Vincent Buddy Cianci would often refer to as their intergalactic search for a school committee chair. It just hit the airwaves last night. You may not have had a chance to see it, so I won't pin you down on this, but I had a chance to catch up with the Rhode Island Department of Education Director on Helica and Fonte Green.
Oh, great.
So we're always on a mission to find out what's going on with Shea. I understand there's a meeting this Thursday. Great. She seemed to be convinced somewhat, and I say that loosely, that funding for the Shea improvements, we'll call it sort of the emergency improvements, the ones that were supposed to have taken place a couple of years ago, the ones that the Pawtucket City School Committee supported, wrote into code, planned for the closing of Shea for 2 years to do the necessary, because I want to, and that, by the way, that's an important point, because the school committee did its job. I think we all agree there, that the school committee was on top of it, had the funding, had the financing, had it all. Now, of course, we find ourselves in a position where she's asserting that there might be money coming from elsewhere, but she was want to say at the last city council meeting, we had our quality time with Mr. Zalazzo, who was not kind enough to go on air, and again, I appreciate you. It's shocking, but that's me. So where are we? A long build-up, but where are we right now?
I actually can answer. You actually proposed the question: should RIDE be involved in the conversation with what we do with Shea High School? I remember you actually asking that, and I didn't have an answer for you because looking back, I've been on this job of chairmanship for less than 20 days. So I'm still trying to catch up to speed, and then we had to get a superintendent in place because we have people that we have to hire. But the Shea issue can't be put on the back burner. It has to be brought up front. And thankfully, we did bring RIDE in that meeting that we had that Kim Grant, the deputy chair, Kim educated both of us on. With all the people that were involved, they came up and saw that there are different funding sources to do what needs to get done. Up until the point of possibly getting into that bond. But we found out that there's actually other funding sources, and it was because RIDE sat down with us. They were a partner with us. They're going to be a partner with us because they set the standards for the Rhode Island public school system. So we needed to have them at the table. So I'm happy with the direction that we're going with when it comes to what we have done as a team to get that funding done, because we are going to work our hard. Now we have a superintendent in place. We're going to work our hardest to now just take care of what needs to be done at my alma mater. There's a little bit in my heart that says, let's get this done and let's try to get it better than just a basic education.
Do you think, and this is the question that's on everyone's mind, you've got a February cutoff, if you will, to get paperwork done so that, in a sense, you can meet this, one would almost say unfairly to the school commission, deadline of October to have a plan in place for NEASC, so that that there's a working plan which addresses the physical shortcomings of the plant and physical structure of Shea High School. Do you think that's going to happen now?
Yes, absolutely. And it's because of the team that we have here. I mean, you're talking about, I think you said that you want to talk to Jay. Jay Charbonneau has been an incredible facilities subcommittee chairperson. Joanne Bonolo is on top of everything that's going on in this school system. This weekend I had someone call me up and ask me about the air conditioner issue that's happened at one of our schools. I had to reach out to Joanne and say, Joanne knew everything that was happening. I put in touch with that taxpayer. It's fabulous on how much Joanne, Jay, Erin, Kim, you have such an experienced school committee, and then you bring in this new blood of Jan and Marsha and myself. We're pushing people. You saw what happened in the last meeting with the school safety issues that the teachers union brought forward. We're pushing forward on that. We're not just walking and chewing gum at the same time. So when you say, can we hit those markers? The February one's going to be tough, but we have to do it. There's no maybe we're not going to hit it. We are going to do it. And the October deadline, we can do that. We can absolutely do that.
Okay. When's the next time you all get together on this? What's the next step?
I'm hoping to put it on next for February's meetings, monthly meeting. We're having a special workshop meeting on the 26th. We're probably not going to address it at that point, but we're probably going to address it monthly. We're probably going to address it. I don't know if you want Pat and Mr. Ford. We're going to address this monthly until we see some hard hats going into the building to take care of some of the deficiencies of Shea High School.
Do you think you're going to have to close the school in order to get the
Great
structural work?
I don't know. I'm not trying to pawn it off. Maybe school committee member Chabana would know that answer.
Okay.
I just don't know because I don't know the scope of the work.
Right.
They're in there now, so can they work around it? Are they using anything behind the auditorium? That seems to be the big linchpin on that one. The auditorium's in rough shape.
Right.
Can they work around it? I'm not sure.
Fair enough.
I don't know that answer.
Well, again, thank you for the update. I look forward to doing this after every meeting. We can, it's an urban school district. There's a lot of challenges in the horizon, but facing them forthrightly and quite frankly, giving folks in Pawtucket a real perspective of what's going on. As you know, that allays a lot of fears. Very often, when school districts attempt to act in the dark, and I'm not implying that's happening here, but other ones try to do end runs around civilians, it's very often the suspicions are far worse than the actual issues.
I agree with that, but you know what? Someone like yourself and Mr. Chabano and the rest of this board won't let us do that. This is such an open board. They honestly, I want to report everything out the proper way. I'm sorry about the time. We might have wasted 10 extra minutes to find out. Let's give them all this information. Let's not hold back on what we did back there tonight. Because it shouldn't be done in any type of, I think you said in shadowy, I don't want to have any type of, people thinking something hideous is going on in the back there. So, But it took long because we had a very good debate on what the direction that acting superintendent Lisa Ramsey can do for us.
Is there going to be a committee formed for a search?
Yes.
Will that be from within the community? From all parts of the community? Will it be strictly the school board? What do you think is going to make that up?
Before you were covering, I was on the school committee 100 years ago, and we brought in about a 21-member search committee, and brought in a Debbie Silky, she was in Nevada at the time. So the committee did a national search. I'm going to ask, I'm going to lean on committee member Chabano and all the members. I want to find out. Do we have the appetite to go outside and make it a national search in there? Do we have the talent in-house? So, but we are going to have a search. We are definitely going to have an open search. How big the committee is, which your question is, I'm going to let them educate me on it.
I'm here to help.
21 members was a lot to manage, though. But if that's what they want, we'll do it.
Tell Grebs I'm here to help.
All right, good.
Thank you very much, sir.